nothing is ever worth taking your life. And we have a huge epidemic of suicide in this country. It's heartbreaking because it just devastates. You have no idea how much you're worth, until you're gone and how much it hurts everybody left behind. It's the worst thing that you can do. And
The worst.
life is full of ebbs and flows. And if you can just get beyond the hill, the next peak that you're looking at is amazing. You just have to get through that hard time. So I thought last night's episode was good. They did need to back off because it is all about how Tom's a piece of shit, which might be true, but you can't. I think it's good to like back off somebody. So I thought that was really great.
LVP has spoken.
LVP has spoken. I mean, will they take her advice? Will they listen? And I want to know more about, I want to know more about Lala and Randall. Randall's a character, but I understand divorces are messy. And the other big scene for me, which I didn't even think they gave enough time to, was the return of Graham Cracker, the dog.
Graham Cracker is back. Graham Cracker is back. And wow, we have a emotional Mr. Kennedy. He doesn't cry over people. Lala tried to get deep over the sobriety, and he's like, oh, come on now. Like, oh, you want to know my feelings? I'm sober. Why do we have to talk about this? He literally laughed it off. But, Allie moved out. She took all the cats, and I was going to be single for the rest of my life. But whatever. It's all fine now. I was sad. This got him to break down a very emotional Mr. Kennedy, right, Sarah?
I actually wanted more of that scene than I did the rest of the scenes. And why is because, and maybe fill in the blanks for me. How did this dog end up in these shelters? Did Raquel turn the dog over? Did Raquel turn the dog over to the family, right? And then
I believe so.
It bit a family member. And so then it was like given to a rescue, right? It was like given up for adoption. And then it bounced from like adoptive homes because it bit somebody else. And then all of a sudden Lisa comes out and she's like, here's Graham Cracker. It's bit a few people, darling, but he's back with you. And it's like, you're just like, oh, great. I've got this dog that fucking bites everyone. It's a liability. Terrific. I'm so thrilled. But you're right. That like brought James to tears. He's like, Graham Cracker. And
how does this end up at Vanderpump Dogs? Like, does Lisa, like, I assume, like, do producers just scour I'm really being serious. I mean, I just picture producers scouring every dog shelter in LA and being like, here's the picture. Does this dog look familiar? Oh, wait, he does? Okay, like, we need this moment on camera. And then let's bring him to Vanderpump Dogs. And Lisa is like, what a brilliant idea. We'll reunite. And it's in her heart, but she's like, put the Vanderpump Dogs on the screen, please. But yeah, Graham Cracker is home. Now, I hope you talked to Allie and told her Graham Cracker was coming home. Get out of the weeds, David. Get out of the weeds.
Oh, no, that's the best part. There's so many layers to this. Like, dogs and cats famously don't get along. So we're just like, she's just literally, it was hysterical, that scene. We've gone through a whole hour of mental health. And then at the end, we're like, he thinks he's going to Vanderpump Dogs to talk to Lisa about Tom Sandoval's mental health and suicidal thoughts. And it's like, forget that, darling. Here's your dog. Like, it's like, oh, okay. So all of a sudden we're over the mental health and alleged suicide thoughts. Darling, here's Graham Cracker. Will he get along with your cats? I have no idea. Has he ravaged and bit several people? Absolutely. And then James is just like crying.
And you saw Lisa. What? She smiled. She was so happy. Lisa loves the dog. Loves.
And also you're picturing, because this dog's apparently bit so many people, you're picturing this like pit bull mix that's going to be like a nightmare. And then it like comes out and it's this little doodle, you're like, oh, this is what like Raquel couldn't take care of and was nipping at people. The whole thing just ends in such a comical manner. And James is breaking down in tears next to a, $2,000 dog bed that is actually a miniature size, like luxury bed. The whole thing is just so Beverly Hills. I was like, oh my God, this is, yeah. And what was Allie's true reaction when Graham Cracker was rescued? Like, does she really want Graham Cracker back? Or are they like, oh shit, now I got a dog?
That's not good.
Yeah. What did you think of the overall episode, though? Did you think, because last week had me much more hooked. I was back. I thought it was really great. And this is how I ebb and flow with shows anyway, whether it's Sister Wives or Housewives. It's almost episode to episode to me. Sometimes the episodes are really good, really deep. You find out things, and then the next episode is kind of eh. Where were you on this one?
It was okay.
Episode 4. Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. I want more. I want to see what else is coming up this season. What else are we going to get that we haven't already known, you know? Do you have any predictions? What do you think?
I mean, look, I feel it's okay. I feel it's an okay season. I just feel, where do we go? Where do we go? We can't keep, I think we're going to do it all season. I know it was only 3 months later when this was filmed. I get it. I get it. I get it. But like, what does next season look like? We can't talk about Scandoval. Can't. We're gonna have a whole show for 5 years about Scandoval.
Do you think it's coming, or do you think it was scrapped? But where are the conversations about like Schwartz and Sandy's? Why aren't we going back to, because I actually thought that was super interesting last season when they were trying to argue about the menu. They had the chef there. They were having people in for tastings. Like, I like the business part of it. Why is there no business part of anything yet? And the sandwich shop,
I agree.
Why aren't we seeing discussions about this? Actually leads me to the theory there never was going to be a sandwich shop, because where's Katie and Ariana arguing more about the wrapping of the sandwich? Where is that?
Where's all the stuff about Schwartz and Sandy's? I know Tom is forbidden from filming there, but okay, it could be more. Right, we're not getting people's lives. It's almost like the opposite of Housewives, where it's like you're a housewife, you have group scenes, you have alone scenes. You know, if you're a friend of, you don't get alone scenes, right? Like, where we're getting Scheana's life more so than anyone else's. We got Lala's a little bit. I mean, right. Where is Schwartz and Sandy's, and Tom is having a tough time because his partner, you know, went out and did this. Where is something about her? Where is James being like, babe, I love you, but I gotta go catch a flight. I'm DJing in Boston this weekend, and then I'm going to New York, and it's a tough life being on the road and away from you, and I'm not cheating. Don't you worry, darling, despite the groupies. But like, where's James heading off to LAX? Sorry, I know he lives near Burbank, but you know, a flight to New York is likely going to be out of LAX, darling. More weeds, more weeds.
Well, I'm with you. Where is the other life stuff? When are we going to get it? Do you think we're going to get it coming up in episode 5 and episode 6? Or because we still are just beating this dead horse of Raquel, of Ariana, of Sandoval, right? And Sandoval's self-punishment by getting into cold bathtubs and then going on shows where he has to live out in the desert, and this sort of self-flagellation. You know, it's like, okay.
And I'm not saying this. You know, do you know that Instagram account that has a gazillion followers? The guy that holds up signs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I love him. I'm obsessed.
Right. So it's like, first of all, I like, what a brilliant idea. Every day he's holding up a sign outside somewhere or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
but
brilliant.
with like an iconic saying.
I forgot